All right, it is 6 p.m. and we want to thank you all for joining us. And joining us this evening on the webinar helps us communicate some of the information that you and your families need to know about registration for 26-27 school year. It's hard to believe this is class of 2027, that you guys are going to be seniors next year. That seems a little crazy to me. But we're excited for you. We are excited to work with your students and helping them in choosing the right courses and planning for the senior year and getting them ready for life after high school. We're going to jump right in. I mentioned this earlier, but I do want to mention it again. There is a Q&A feature available in Zoom, and we would really encourage you to ask questions in that Q&A feature. We have counselors on deck. The entire team is with me tonight, and they are there to type out answers to the questions that you have. Some of the questions, if we feel are necessary, we'll answer them live at the end in a Q&A session. But please do us a favor throughout. At any point in this presentation, if you have questions, use the Q&A so that we can help answer those questions. So let's go ahead and jump into this. And let's start by talking about who's on the counseling team. So who's with me tonight? So my name is Jeremy Troche. I'm one of the counselors at Claremont High School, and my alpha is A through CHOI. Ms. Vogel represents the alpha CHOJ through GOM. Ms. Ceccarelli is going to pick up at GON and go through LIN. Then we have Ms. Cizik, who picks up at LIO and runs all the way through PARK, P-A-R-K. Mr. Anderson will start just after that at PARL and go through SMI. And rounding out the alphabet is Ms. Katie Silva, and she goes from SMJ through Z. I also mentioned that I have a co-presenter tonight, and that is Miss Evelyn Diaz. She is our support counselor, and she's working with students in 504 and other special populations, and generally helps us as counselors out working with our students. Two more really important members of our team are Mrs. Emily Stevenson. That is our counseling secretary. Whenever you call the counseling department, that's who you're talking to, and she's just an amazing asset to the team who helps us in every way possible. Also on the team is Miss Adriana Talamontes. That is our guidance technician. And she is really instrumental in setting up schedules, helping us with all of the AP testing, IB testing, coordination. She will help us with all of the back end of the course requests that you're not going to see, but all of us on the team get to see. Just an amazing person who works with us. In the lower left-hand corner is the Claremont High School website. Specifically, I want to draw your attention to the counseling website. So if you'll change the slide, this is just a screenshot of the current counseling website. And there's a lot of really good information on here. Two things I want to draw attention to right now. The first one is going to be that junior night presentation in the middle. So Claremont High School, the counseling team, put on a lot of presentations. And there's a lot more that's coming up beyond just the registration meetings. But we will always post the presentations onto our website and onto our YouTube channel. So the most recent presentations will be here on the website featured. But if you want to look back at some of the previous presentations we've done, you can go to the CHS YouTube channel. That link is on that right-hand side under counseling links. And it's a really great resource to learn more about what's happening here at CHS, but also how to help prepare your student for life after CHS. At the very top of the website right now is that course selection for 26-27 school year. There's this nice little graphic of putting the puzzle pieces together. And the idea is that we want to try and make things work that are going to fit your student. So every student is different, and we take an approach that's very individualized when we talk about scheduling. And so that is your link into the entire process for selecting courses for the next year. And we're going to show that at the end. I just wanted to highlight it up front. Let's jump to the next slide. One of the things we want to make sure we're talking with our students about, and they're going to hear this from us as counselors, we're going to have them trained through our Career Center. There's a process to help them in this whole thing, is accessing SchoolLinks. Now, SchoolLinks is our college and career guidance program. So this is the way that we as counselors work with our students in planning and preparing for life after high school. One of the things that it does, it's a significant part of the college application process. And so we are going to continue to encourage our students that they should be accessing School Links on a regular basis. They need to start working on some of the documents and some of the tasks that are listed in School Links. There's actually a to-do list right when they log in that will show them everything they need to do. Logging into School Links is very easy for students. All they need to do is log in with Google. It's the same CUSD credentials that they log in with their email and to their Google accounts. It's the exact same credentials, and they'll log in utilizing Google. Again, we train them in how to do this the entire way. Let's jump to the next slide. There we go. I'm going to hand this off to Ms. Diaz.
Hello, so we want to review credits and credit requirements for graduation. So for credits, students earn 5 credits per course. The letter grade D is passing and will give students those credits, but it is not a sufficient passing grade to move on to the next math, world language, or our higher level science courses. We are looking for students to get a C or better in order to prepare them for those A through Gs that will make them prepared for your universities like our UCs or Cal States. Any letter grade of an F will earn no credits. In order to graduate from Claremont High School, you need a total of 220 credits. To go a little bit into more detail on what the credit breakdown is, 30 of those credits will come from social science. So it'd be the year for world history, a year in US history, and then our Gov and Econ courses. 40 credits come from English, 20 from math, including integrated math 1, 20 credits from science, 10 credits from our arts, world language, or any CTE course, and 20 credits from our physical education courses. For grades, so as you are in your junior year, you start thinking about college and applying next fall when you start your senior year. So if you want to be college bound, remember that your junior year is the last full year colleges will see reported on your transcript. So you really want to try your best to get those C's and better in your courses to apply for college in the fall your senior year. So this graphic shows the A through G's and the breakdown. The graphic is from the UC system. UC and Cal States are pretty similar. So the breakdown includes earning a C or better in 2 years of history, 4 years in English, 3 in mathematics, although they recommend and we encourage 4 years for mathematics, 2 years in science, 3 years are encouraged, 2 years in a language other than English, 3 years being more recommended due to the competitiveness of those 4-year college universities, and then 1 year in an art and 1 year in a college prep elective. For summer school, our CUSD summer school registration forms will be available soon. Please keep an eye out on any announcements for when those will come out. When you meet with counselors, you can review about what you may need to take or want to take to advance. Courses that we may offer this upcoming summer school include government, economics, ethnic studies, integrated math 2, but only for the second semester, and a full year of pre-calculus with chemistry. Please keep in mind that these summer school courses are tentative and are subject to change, so please keep an eye out for any announcements for any changes. Summer school will also be available to remediate any English, math, science, or social science grades, so any grade where you received an F to make up credits or any D to make you A through G eligible. Our summer school dates will go from June 17th to July 2nd for our session 1, and for session number 2 will be July 6th through July 17th. Any interest in our dual enrollment courses, those courses and dates are not announced yet, but we are hoping to finalize those dates. So please, again, just keep an eye out on any announcements for when we have those dual enrollment courses and dates available. I'm going to jump slightly ahead just to go over this. For outside coursework, are my slides lined up?
You're good. It looks like it just didn't update when we made that update, so we'll just
Okay. For any outside coursework that you're thinking in regards to summer school, Claremont Unified cannot recommend or advise on any outside coursework due to that varying widely informed content, formatting or pacing that may not fully prepare our students once they return to Claremont High when they advance to the next level up. Those courses may not meet our CHS graduation or college admission or NCAA requirements. For other ideas that you can participate in over the summer, if you are not going to participate in summer school, we highly encourage you to go on any college tours. Some are available virtually. We also encourage you to go in person so you get to see and get to know the campus. You can look for any volunteer opportunities, part-time jobs. Also start to review your teacher and counselor questionnaire. Start to think about any teachers you may want to ask for letters of recommendation come for college applications, especially if you want to major in a specific subject area, maybe chatting to teachers of that subject area. And although applications aren't available to start, I would encourage to start looking over the college essays and how to better prepare to complete those essays. So when you start in the fall, you have a clear set, you know what schools you're interested in, majors you're interested in, and you have a better idea on what those essays can look like. If you are interested in taking an IB or AP course, keep in mind these courses are rigorous, the workload is a bit more challenging, and it's a larger workload. They are weighted courses, so make sure you get that C or better. Still, you want to make sure you get the C or better in those courses as well. You want to make sure that you double check any prerequisites that you can find in our course description book. As you register for courses, you'll see a section that will describe if there are any prerequisites or what the course may include. Many colleges can grant credit if you pass the IB or AB exam. So something else to keep in mind, those exams will be offered in the month of May. If you decide to sign up or register for any AP or IB course, keep in mind some of these courses may have a summer assignment, so you'll have some homework over the summer. Switching to a regular college prep course after registering in an AP or IB course may only happen if there's space available, so keep that in mind. For any IB level courses like English, biology, computer science, history of the Americas, music, visual arts, and psychology, they are 2-year course sequences. So if you are in the HL1 this year, for next year, your senior year, you would do the HL2 course. And I'm going to bounce back to Mr. Troche to review the Citrus College dual enrollment courses. You're still muted, Mr. Troche.
Thank you. I'm excited. Claremont High School is actually kind of unique. We are very fortunate in that for students who want to take more advanced classes, we have quite a few options for that. Those AP and IB courses, yes, they're both college level courses. These dual enrollment courses are also college level courses. These are courses that are Citrus College courses taught at Claremont High School. And so our students will earn not just credits at Claremont High School, but they will also earn transferable units at Citrus Community College. Just a list of some of the courses that are on there. Some of these courses are highly rigorous. Some of these courses are a little less rigorous. It depends on the individual course. With all of these courses, many of them are highly sought after. And we typically have more students requesting these courses than we have available spots. Preference will always go to seniors in these courses. And as you are a rising senior, that means that you will get preference in these courses. Even with that, we will have some courses that will exceed the number of students we're able to handle just in seniors. But this is a really great option to start getting some college credits. And if you have questions about these courses, I would encourage you to come in and speak with one of the counselors or even one of the instructors of these courses. All the instructors for these classes, these Citrus College community college classes, all of these instructors are Claremont High School teachers and counselors. Jump to the next one. ROP programs. So there's two different types of ROP programs. So we have what we call on-campus classes, and many of you have taken some of these courses: mental and behavioral health, sports medicine, engineering drawing. We have a brand new one that came about this last year, careers in education. Those are classes that are offered in our school day and available to our students. There are also classes offered off campus, and these classes are in our local community, many of them in Ontario, within a very short drive. These could include HVAC, welding. I have 2 students doing emergency medical responder right now. All of these courses are designed to get students career ready when they graduate, okay? With any of these ROP courses, whether they take it off campus or on campus with us, students who complete years 1 and 2 are recognized with a graduation stole, so a little extra bling during the graduation ceremony. If you have interest in taking one of those off-campus courses, and just to be clear, this is just a small sample of what's really available, I would encourage your student to talk with Ms. Heil in the Career Center, or come check in with one of the counselors up at the Counseling Center. Course selection. So we're going to briefly go through this. I'm going to show you some of the things that we talk with your students about today. Course selection is going to be taking place for your students up until February 13th. That's that highlighted date. That's the date when it's going to close. Your students all had a counselor come in today during English, present to them what to do. We gave them a printed course selection guide. Going to show that to you in just a little bit. We walked them through how to enter those course requests in Aries, and they have up until February 13th to make any changes. Once February 13th hits and that day is over, your students will no longer be able to make changes in their course requests. Then it gets turned over to us as counselors. So we as counselors will then meet individually with every single student, every single senior, and then down the line after that, finalizing your course requests. When we meet with you, we can make adjustments. So if you decide to make a change, or you think you want to make a change after February 13th, all is not lost. We will absolutely work with you to look at making those adjustments. When your counselor meets with a student, we'll be looking at their senior year request. That's only a piece of it, because we're also going to be talking about their credits, their college readiness, and looking at their post-graduation plans. If they need summer school, we're going to address it in that meeting. We're going to tell them what they should be registering for. Hopefully, summer school will be available by then, and we may even be able to get them signed up for summer school right in that meeting. Go to the next one. Some big changes have happened for this year. One of the biggest ones is our students are now entering their course requests directly into Aries. This is new. And we are a little nervous. I'm not going to lie about it. But so far, based on what we've seen, it's been really effective. And our students are really taking it responsibly and really working hard to get the right classes entered. Another big change is AP Economics. So if you had a student who is currently a senior or older, they might have taken AP Economics as a year-long course. It is now AP Microeconomics only. That is the grad requirement, and it is only a semester-long class. So that's a pretty big change. Government, HOTA, and economics, these classes are all now paired. So if a student is going to register for AP Government, that means they're also going to be taking AP Microeconomics. If they're going to be taking HOTA, they're going to be taking AP Microeconomics as well. So these classes being paired helps simplify the scheduling, helps make it a little bit easier for students, and in the end will make our master schedule a little more flexible. There are some name changes in dual enrollment. So if you have a student who's graduated previously, they might have taken English 101 as a English course. That course has changed names. This is not a Claremont High School thing. This is a Citrus College thing. Citrus is going to be changing a lot of their names we hear over the next few years. And so that course has changed to English C1000. There's another letter in there somewhere. I just forgot it. But that is changing. You'll see that on the course request form here in a little bit. We've also had a math change, and that is in our stats class, which is also now Stats 1000. We have a new science course this next year, and that'll be Earth and Space Science. This is a physical science that will meet the physical requirement for graduation and will also meet the physical requirement for A through G requirements, and that's a good change for our students. There are also several online options for courses. So online courses are available. Students can typically take one option a year. We have an online course for seniors in Senior English, and we'll have an online course in Gov and Econ. With online courses, what I'm telling students is what I will tell you. The counselors will help determine which students are appropriate for those courses. Now, it's not we're trying to be mean. I'm trying to make sure, that my students are going to be able to graduate. And so if I don't feel the online course is the right option for your student, I will likely tell them it's not the right option and explain why when we're meeting one-on-one. Okay, but that is an option for students to choose. We have a couple new electives coming in next year. This year, we started our cyber and net program. There'll be a second year of that coming next year. We also started the careers and education program this year. And again, we'll have the second year of that coming next year. Another big change for Claremont is our new start date. So Claremont High School is going to be starting a little bit earlier next year. There we go. And we will be starting next year, August 19th. That's going to shorten up the summer. This will help align us a little bit more with AP and IB testing and give our students a couple more weeks in preparation and curriculum to hit that AP and IB testing and to be successful in that. All right, let's keep going. What you see in front of you, which I know is impossible to read, I recognize that. This is the senior course request. This is online, so you'll be able to take a look at this and actually review this later. But this is what we gave your students. This is kind of their packet. This is what they're working on as they're going through and picking classes. Let's keep going. There we go. This is going to be the Claremont High School course selection website. If you remember back when I showed you that first page, the first picture of our website, and it had that banner and it had the little puzzle piece on it, if you click on that banner, it's going to bring you to this. It gives a brief explanation of how we are doing course requests. A little bit further down there, you'll see the course selection calendar. This will tell you all of the dates for all grade levels when we're meeting with students, when we're going to meet specifically with the class that your student is in. And so this gives all the dates and information of all of our upcoming meetings. Let's go to the next slide. Perfect. As you scroll down a little bit further, there will be an option to select information just on class of 2027. And so if you click on that little, normally a plus sign, now it's a minus sign, but if you click on the plus sign there under class of 2027, it's going to open up this menu that gives you all the information that you need. You see there the webinar link for tonight's meeting. Later on this evening or tomorrow morning, that will convert into a webinar recording as we are recording this webinar, and we'll be posting it right here on the website. The slides for tonight's presentation are also linked there. The ones that your students are going to be most interested in. The course selection form, that is the paper form we gave them. That's that really small form I showed you earlier. This is the digital copy that you can open, print, and look at with your student. Highly recommend talking with them about the classes they're going to take. If you're looking about information on how to enter those requests in areas, I know this is a different process than what our students are used to, and it is a little more complicated. There is a video that's been recorded to help you walk through it step by step. And I would also encourage your students, if they're having questions, to come and talk with counselors. We are absolutely glad to help them get through this. We are available every single day during lunch in the counseling center. We have a link. Go back with our, okay, which is a couple more things here. We have the grad and UC requirements link. That's just a comparison between what we require for Claremont High School graduation and what the UCs and Cal States require. Our course subscription book is also linked here. This is very detailed information about our courses, including prerequisites and a little description of the courses themselves. Okay. There are also links to the dual enrollment classes, advanced placement classes, and IB diploma there as well. All right. When students go into Aries, go ahead and click next. They're going to come and see this. Now, if you log in as a parent, you will not see this. You will not be able to access course requests. Only students can access the course requests. So we found out some of our students were logging in as parents, and that's how we know you can't actually access it. When you log in as a student, you will see this screen. If they click on classes, the next one, and click on course entry, This is where your students are going to be entering their course requests. It'll be on this particular page. Okay. And students can sort by name, they can search by number, they can bring down categories like just English. This is grade level specific. So right now I am on a current 11th grader, a rising senior, just like your students. And so when they select English, the only thing they're going to see is going to be English classes. Sorry, go ahead and hit the next slide. There we go. And so this will help guide the students in terms of finding the classes they want. My recommendation for my students is I really would like to see you have that paper sheet right next to you, because that paper sheet has the course codes, it has the course names as they're listed in Aeries, and will make the entire process much easier if you follow along with that course selection sheet. Go ahead and click next. Okay. When students select a course, there'll be a pop-up menu. Okay. And students will have the option to request as a primary course request or an alternate course request. Generally speaking, all of our core classes, our English, our math, our science, our world language, these are all going to be primary requests. The only time a student is going to use an alternate request, that's going to be when they are picking an elective and they want to pick a backup elective for that primary, what they really want. Go to the next slide. Or is that it? Did it cut off my last slide?
That is our last slide.
Oh, it cut off my last slide. Okay. The last slide essentially is showing you what a completed course schedule would look at. I think there are some edits that didn't make it to online for some reason. I apologize for that. But ideally, your student will have 6 courses listed in Aeries. And this gives us a chance to make sure that they are having a full schedule as a senior. We talked with our students today about those student aids, those extra off periods, and those are things that are only going to be discussed with the counselor directly. So if the question is, hey, how do I do this? And you as a parent can't figure it out, send them in to see us. We are glad to help them. The idea behind everything we do here at Claremont High School is we want to support your students in preparing for their transition out of high school. We want to support your students in meeting their graduation requirements. And most importantly, we want your students to be successful. So at any time, students come and see us during lunchtime. Parents, if you have questions, feel free to send us an email and we will return those as quickly as possible. I will give you a fair warning. Right now, counselors are in classrooms all day, the entire day. We talk all day long to students. Over the next 3 days, it'll be nothing but talking to students. And then once we hit next week, we are meeting the students all day long. So be a little patient with us as we try and return any emails that you have. Right now, I'd like to open it up to questions. And I see my counselors have been doing an amazing job in answering some of these. So I'm going to answer some of these live. Is it possible to take AP Government and non-AP Economics? That is a really great question. This is a change from previous years. Going forward, these classes are going to be paired together, meaning they're going to be scheduled in the same periods across from each other in semesters. So if you're taking AP Government, you will have to take AP Microeconomics. That is a change from previous years. Okay. Excuse me. Had another question. Is there summer classes for languages? Claremont High School does not offer summer classes in world languages. That is not something we've offered in the past, and that's not something that's on the proposed course list for this year's summer school. We do have students who take those courses at other schools. Ms. Diaz mentioned earlier that Claremont High School doesn't necessarily, we can't always give you full information about the way other summer school programs work. We can give you some suggestions, and we can work with your student on maybe finding some of those courses that might be a good fit. That is definitely something that your student should ask the counselor about when they meet with them individually. There are some options out there for world language classes to be taken over the summer. I will put a caveat on that specifically with world language. If your student plans to advance to the following year here at Claremont High School, we do not recommend summer school world language. It does not cover enough to prepare them for taking the next year of the world language here at CHS. Okay. Have a question. When is the last day of school? I'm going to see if one of my other counselors can look that up for me. I don't know offhand. If a student takes dual enrollment English C1000E, does it count for 1 year of English for the A through G requirement? Excellent question. So the dual enrollment English C1000E, that course is a semester long. It will earn 10 credits of Claremont High School graduation English. It will earn 5 units at Citrus College in English, and it will meet the A through G requirements for senior English. So yes, it meets all of those requirements. How many class periods do seniors need to take if they have enough credits for graduation? Great question. So the minimum number of classes a student must take each semester is 5. That is a requirement. We can't get around that. Students can come down to 5 classes, but they cannot go below 5 classes.
Okay. Mr. Trosch?
Yes.
Can I also add for that? Seniors, a lot of seniors take 5 classes. However, students must have a minimum of 4 classes that meet in person.
Yes.
And 0 period does not count.
Yes.
So if a student is taking a 0 period, they still must have an in-person 1, 2, 3, and 4.
And that is also true for any online classes. So if you take the senior English online as an example, you still must have 4 classes within that 1 through 4 period day. Thank you.
Mr. Trost, the last day of school will be Thursday, June 3rd.
Thank you. I didn't know it offhand, so I didn't want to say anything. I appreciate that. Question, will Stats C1000 be offered in the fall in person or online? That class has traditionally been offered in person here at Claremont High School. We would assume it would be the same next year. I have not heard of that changing. Okay. Do dual enrollment classes count at all colleges as transferable? How do you figure that out? So dual enrollment classes will count at all Cal States and UCs. There's transfer agreements that Citrus College has with the Cal States and UCs, and they are transferable to Cal States and UCs. Many private schools and out-of-state public schools will also take them as transferable units. There is no way for us as counselors to guarantee whether a specific private school is going to take every one of those transferable units. That is something that if you're interested in a specific school, you would have to contact their admissions and records department to make that determination. It's not possible for us to keep a catalog of all of that, but we do know with the majority of our students attending those Cal States and UC schools that those dual enrollment classes are going to be transferable. Okay. Does senior English online count equally as senior English in class, and is it asynchronous? So senior English online is the same course content and curriculum as senior English in class. It is asynchronous, and what that means is it's very much like independent study, where students will be participating in the class from a distance at their own time frame, so they do not need to log into a specific Zoom. It is asynchronous. And yes, on the transcript, it will say senior English. That is what is designated as. It does not have the online on the transcript.
Can I just add something, Mr. Trosch?
Please do.
Even though it's asynchronous, it still has due dates. Mm-hmm. So it's there's work due at the end of the week. So while they can complete it anytime within the week, it still has a due date. So I just want to clarify that.
Perfect. Any other questions in the Q&A? A lot of dual enrollment questions. I love it. Okay. I'm going to start with the Stats 1000, and this is going to be more of a broad. All of our dual enrollment classes, everything on that list is a semester-long course. All of them are a semester long. That includes the Stats 1000. Now, the next question on here, can we talk more about dual enrollment English versus AP Literature? That is a really great question. AP Literature is going to be a more advanced class. It is going to focus more on fiction writing, and it's going to respond as a response to literature. Your dual enrollment English is going to be focused more on nonfiction works and also expository writing. Here's the main difference between the two. Your AP Literature, from a college perspective, from an admissions perspective, is going to be considered the most rigorous course available to students. Roughly speaking, dual enrollment English 1000 or the English C1000E, that particular course is going to be on equivalency to AP English and Language Composition from the perspective of college admissions. Which one should your student take? It really depends on what your students' goals are. It depends on what your students' strengths are. This is something that we as counselors are going to highly encourage your student to talk with their English teachers about. Finding what's going to be best for them is going to differ from each student. And so talking with an English teacher who knows your student's skills and knows your student's abilities, that's really going to be the key to figuring out which one's right for the student. Okay. Question, is it true that Art 110 and Muse 113 go together? Great question. These classes are scheduled, at least historically, scheduled in the same period. Most of our students will take one and take the other so that they have a full year's worth of classes within that period. Does a CHS teacher teach the online English? Excuse me. The online English, the asynchronous online senior English course that we're referring to is taught by a Claremont High School English teacher. Yes. If I took ASL at Citrus College, would that count towards my foreign language credit? So it would not count on Claremont High School's transcript towards graduation. However, it would meet the A through G requirements as a world language. And so, yes, if you took 2 semesters of ASL, it would count towards Claremont High School's, or sorry, excuse me, it would count towards the UC and Cal State world language requirement. Okay. Question, dual enrollment versus sponsored by Citrus College are different, correct? Okay, I think I know what this means. Took me a second there. So when we say sponsored by Citrus College, typically what that means is these are Claremont High School classes in summer school, but Citrus College is the one paying for it. So Citrus College gets a little extra money for what they call high school completion. It's a grant from the state. It's free money for them to use. And they can utilize high schools to provide courses like our chemistry class during the summer to help our students reach graduation. That funding source is used for most of our summer school. So when we say sponsored by Citrus, it doesn't mean that Citrus College is giving credits. It means that Citrus College is paying for Claremont High School to give those credits. When we say dual enrollment, that means that yes, Citrus is paying for the class, but in addition to that, Claremont High School is giving credits and Citrus College is giving units. So there is a difference there. Okay. Who is eligible to take online English? It's a really good question. Any senior, technically speaking, is eligible to take online senior English. The question for your counselor is going to be which students are appropriate to take that. And that is a conversation that your counselor is going to have individually with each student. Okay. Where can one find more information on the Careers in Education class? Is it in person at CHS? Yes, it is in person at CHS. That course description is currently being approved and should be available very shortly. I actually do not think it's in our course description book just quite yet, but that is coming up and should be available soon. There is information on our Baldy View ROP partner's website on that particular course. But yes, it should be available. Okay. I have a question. ASL approved class outside of CHS count towards the language graduation requirement, correct? That's going to be an individualized question. I would encourage you to reach out to your counselor on that one. There might be some things that have happened and discussed that are set up between the counselors. So I will defer to that one to speak directly with the counselor. Okay. Is intro to engineering design a year-long class? Yes, that's one of our ROP classes and one of our very popular ones. And it is a full year long. There are additional classes. There are actually 3 years of that course, so students can continue on in that course. It's a phenomenal class. If I'm finished with both AP Calc classes and not looking to take AP Stats or Personal Finance, is there another option? So yes, and you will hear more about this in your Calc BC class. There are options and partnerships with the Claremont colleges to take courses down there. So more information will be coming out through your calculus teacher as we get further on into the year. We're not there yet, but it should be pretty close to this time. Okay. Wait a little bit longer, see if we have any additional questions. I love the questions we're getting.
Hey, Mr. Trosh, I was able to pull up a careers and education description. I have put that as an answer beneath the question.
Thank you. Okay. Oh, here we go. This is actually a really good question and important. Is taking a weighted course advantageous in the senior year when colleges are looking at junior year grades? So when colleges are reviewing students, they're doing a holistic review. So yes, they are looking at the grades, and really sophomore, junior year are going to be the most important, but they are looking at freshman year too. But in addition to the grades from previous coursework, they're also looking at the rigor of the senior year schedule, and students are being evaluated on the level of courses they're taking in the senior year. So we would always encourage students, especially if they're applying to more competitive schools, that they strongly consider taking the same level or higher of rigor in their senior year. Great question. Thank you. Okay. Maybe a couple more minutes, a couple more questions here. Here we go. Okay. Please confirm the three engineering courses, when all taken, qualify for ROP credit and graduation distinction. Yes, that is correct. It's all 3. That is correct. Any more questions that we can answer? Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for joining us tonight. That is it for tonight. We are going to go ahead and close this up. We appreciate you guys so much. We appreciate you joining us this evening. Have a wonderful night.